Hey guys, what's up? It's Real Guy. I'm just chilling in the cut, making it do what it do. Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since I streamed. Sometimes I just don't feel very inspired. But today, inspiration cometh. So, I'd like to ask, who on earth would try to prevent a demonstration against pedophilia and political violence? And I ask this because there's going to be a demonstration this weekend in San Jose at the location of the Worldcon 76, which is a science fiction convention for authors and writers and whatnot, and and fans. So it's going to be a lot of Buck Rogers and Game of Thrones and.
Down there.
The other way. Hold on, let me try to look at the chat. I can't really see the chat right now. I'm trying to operate a bike. Operating the bike is back. Oh, okay, yes. Hey, Danielle. Right now, pedophiles are trying to use the left and gay rights movement to gain acceptance. I do believe they are trying to. But on the other end of that, people will say like, oh, people are trying to equate pedophilia with like gay rights. I'm like, no, we're not trying to do that. We're trying to prevent pedophiles from jumping on the bandwagon, or not bandwagon, but trying to like attach to themselves to such causes. If anything, we're looking out for the LGBT community so they don't get roped into groups like NAMBLA, who, and that's the stretch. And I mean, I know some conservatives, and then liberals too, like tried to make similar arguments during the heat of the gay rights movement or the marriage equality, where they were saying that, oh, well, if you allow gay marriage, then what's next? You're gonna marry your dog, or you're gonna let adults marry children? And of course, that was never up for debate. I personally, I say anything that adults want to do that isn't hurting someone else, go do that shit. Or better yet, anything consenting adults want to do, go do that shit. That's on you. I am not going to stop consenting adults from doing anything. Because that is what's great about this country, that you have the freedom to do as you please. With that said, so this weekend in San Jose is going to be a demonstration against pedophilia, which is rampant in Hollywood, and against political violence, which is rampant throughout the country. I was going to say the West Coast, but that is not the case, as we see what happened in DC, what happened in Portland, what happened in Berkeley, the things that I witnessed personally in Berkeley. I saw a man, an older gentleman, probably in his late 50s, who stood on top of a pedestal, had duct tape over his mouth that said Berkeley, who happened to have a Make America Great Again hat on. He wasn't screaming at anyone. He wasn't trying to offend anybody. He was just standing there quietly in a sign of silent protest. This man was cold-cocked by a female for doing nothing. And if that isn't the epitome of political violence, like, I don't know what is. I see people constantly on social media defending the comments of James Gunn. Also, the photos that just got released last weekend where it shows James Gunn at a pedophile-themed party where he dressed up as a priest around pubescent-looking girls, women who are dressed up as pubescent-looking girls. So that's in addition to his tweets, that's some sketchy shit. You know, but he's not the only one. I mean, more recently, Dan Harmon got into some mess about some tweets that he made. Also, that video of him grinding his naked body on a baby, on a fake baby, like a baby doll. That's all questionable shit, man. And not only that, I mean, I spent so many years in Hollywood working, and I've seen some shit, y'all. Like, I mean, I haven't seen shit of the level of, like, pedophilia, but, hey, why is Bryan Singer not working on X-Men anymore? Why is Corey Feldman so fucked up in the head right now? You know, it's not a secret. Everybody knows it's real. Nobody's willing to tackle it. And, you know, it's got to start somewhere. And I'm definitely not saying that demonstrations is going to solve the problem. But I also don't have a problem with people gathering together, you know, under a similar cause and saying, like, yo, you know, we're not having this. With that said, there's going to be counter-protesters. There's Antifa, Refuse Fascism, BAM, and the like are coming to protest against a demonstration against pedophilia and political violence. And I've seen their flyers. They're saying that this is nothing more than a white nationalist, white supremacy rally, that it's against immigrants, LGBT community, minorities. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, it's very clear what the purpose of this is. So why would you want to come? All right, food time. Hello, Super Chicken Burrito. To go. Thank you much. Thanks. Lucky number 13. I hate streaming next to people. It's not my thing. I like being in isolated areas where I can do my thing. Out here in the sticks, in the middle of nowhere. That's where the streaming magic happens. Okay, so what we're saying, what's going on? Super Mario. Yeah, so there's going to be a demonstration this weekend at the San Jose Convention Center. And it is a demonstration against political violence and pedophilia. Also, and these two events were scheduled at different times. They just happen to be happening at the same place and location. So it is what it is. But like I said, you know, there's the counter-protesters are coming up to protest against our protest against what I think everyone thinks is legitimate. No one supports pedophilia, so why would you want to stop people from speaking out against pedophilia? Why would you want to stop people from speaking out against political violence? Unless you support pedophilia and political violence, right? Right? That's what I think. But hey, what do I know? You know? But it'll be interesting. I expect this to be a and you know, I've watched this thing unfold. The counter protest, obviously, they scheduled it after the initial protest or demonstration. I don't want to call it a protest. It's a demonstration. And it started with like one person, and they made a website just for it. They put flyers all over the city, in hopes of gathering support and lying to people that, oh, here comes a bunch of white nationalists and neo-Nazis. I mean, this is exactly what it says on the flyer. I mean, you can look it up. I think they invented a group just specifically for this called No Hate San Jose. It's lame. It's so lame. Oh, absolutely. No, I've seen the TED Talks of people who openly support pedophilia. And it's sad. It's really sad and scary. And, like, oh God, like who would do such a thing? But, I mean, if, it's a sickness of the mind. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's a sickness of the mind. And as I said before, like, I have no problem with what consenting adults want to do. If you want to stick it up your butt, in your ear, bring out battery-operated toys, do you. If you bring in multiple people, do you. Have fun. No issue there. I think we're at a stage in our society where, like, we don't even blink an eye at things like that. There's nothing I believe is too risque. However you get down, get down. Whoever you love, love. Unless it is you grooming children or those who are not mature enough to make decisions for themselves or make mature decisions for themselves. East Tennessee Leah words would legalize murder rate and skyrocket. Oh, yeah. And equally, like political violence. I saw the guy get cold-cocked for being silent, who was just standing there, not doing anything, away from people, and people came up to him and screamed in his face. Last weekend in Berkeley, I had someone throw urine at me. There was another black dude there who a lot of people got in his face and screamed at him and said that he was hateful, that he didn't say anything to anyone. In fact, they asked him what his platform was and what he supported. He said love, and they were like, well, what is love? He's like, Jesus Christ is love. Who would have something against that? Like how could you... See, here's one thing that really bothers me about the left. As a lefty myself, it's hard to even call them the left anymore because they're in a completely different category, if you ask me. On one end, they say, like, we support minorities, we support all people, and especially they make a point to say that they support Jewish people. Actually, they don't support Jewish people. A lot of people on the left are severely anti-Semitic, disgustingly anti-Semitic, and that really fucking bothers me. Like, anybody who, like, denies the Holocaust or got issue with Jewish people, like, fuck y'all, man. Like, first of all, like, I grew up in an environment where, like, white people were white people. If you was white, then if you was lighter skinned than me, then you were white, and I didn't care what denomination of white you were. Jewish, Russian, German, Polish, all white people to me. So I got no qualms about the intricacies of white folks. White is white. And that's how I feel about it. But, I see a lot of anti-Semitism. And yet, however, I see them champion Muslims, which I don't have a problem with. If that's your faith, then do your faith. But it seems odd to me that on one end, they'll scream and rant about Christians, saying that Christianity is bad, but the Muslim faith is good. I was like, shouldn't we respect all religions? Right? I would think. That's just belief. I mean, there's nothing. Well, the King James Bible is in some ways flawed. And when I say flawed, there are some stories in there in which people did immoral things and bad things, and none of these things are promoted. And by promoted, I mean no one wants wants people to go out and do bad things. And the Ten Commandments are very clear. They're very clear, and I think those are solid rules to live by. And but there's a lot of people that don't think that Christianity has a place or will vilify people who just happen to be Christian. So, but they seem to like really, really get behind Muslims. So I'm like, well, what's the difference? Like, can't we just respect all religions and let it be? Let people be who they want to be. But yeah, so this weekend's going to be interesting. You're going to expect to see people in the black masks, and people are going to come with weapons and sticks, and of course the police are going to try to separate people, and I'm hoping it's going to be like really low-key thing, but we'll see. I mean, the truth is, San Jose is not a very political town. Like, I know the issues that happened in 2 years ago with the violence where Trump supporters got attacked for coming to a Trump rally. Like, I know that took place. But with that said, it's not a very political town. And no one's worried about white supremacists and neo-Nazis in San Jose. I mean, it's predominantly Hispanic and Indian. And these people don't care one way or the other. And frankly, a lot of people are going to see these posters and hear this noise. And I've seen the message boards, and most of the people are like, wait, hold on. Even the people who don't care one way or the other, they keep asking the question, wait, how is a demonstration against political violence and pedophilia a dog whistle to neo-Nazism and white supremacy? And of course the organizers will double down. They'll be like, oh, well, you don't understand. It is. Just take our word for it. And I've seen people on message boards like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. And frankly, most people in San Jose don't give a fuck. Like, this is some dumb white people shit, y'all. Like, real talk, this is dumb white people shit. And I'm not saying that against my white brothers and sisters out there. Like, I don't hate y'all. I'm not trying to make fun of y'all. But white people do some dumb things from time to time. Kind of on a cultural level, or just a level of lack of experience of like real shit. And I'll tell you this much: they wouldn't let no niggas come out there with like black masks and shit, sticks and shit, right? They let white Antifa members riot, set fire, smash windows and shit. Let two opposing sides of niggas come out in the street and try to rumble in downtown Berkeley, downtown San Francisco, downtown San Jose. Let two groups of like 50 on 50 black dudes come out with some beef, and I guarantee you they'll send out the SWAT team. Guarantee you. But because it's white people tripping over no bullshit, they'll send like 2 or 3 officers out there, and they're like, oh, come on, everyone, just stop, don't do. So it's, there's a bias there. And I don't know if that's necessarily my issue there is with the police or the culture or the city council or whoever is responsible for policing. But it's clear to me that, in a way, both of these sides want this. Both of these sides need this. They have little power unless they oppose each other in some way or fashion. All right, let me go grab my burrito. I think it's been long enough.
Yeah, I have to
13? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Got my burrito. So where was I? I'm still on my bike, by the way. I was gonna take my rollerblades, but wasn't in the mood for it. So yeah, this Saturday. Oh, forgot to tell you. So I had a meeting with Berkeley City Council members. That was fun. Took a little effort to make happen. Actually, no, it didn't. They were more than willing to sit down with me, and some great things came out of it. Some plans for the future. My goal right now is trying to fucking end this shit. Like, my fear is somebody's gonna get shot on either side. I thought these little political scuffles were dying down. Shit was really bad prior to the election. When Kyle Chapman, Proud Boys, Identity Europa would like come out, and just craziness would happen. you know, it would be hundreds of like Antifa members, you know, versus dozens of like Proud Boys and other like, you know, heavy hitters would come out and they would just battle out in the streets, you know. And it's died down a little, but then the rhetoric has increased and the fear has increased. The far left has a handful of new tactics, new types of organizing, new rhetoric, you know, where like they'll label anyone a white supremacist, and you don't have to be white to be a white supremacist, which is odd to me. I would think that the number one factor in being claimed or being accused of white supremacy is that you would have to be white. Or they'll say that, well, even though you're brown skin, you support white supremacy. As I saw last Saturday, as they screamed in the face of a cool black dude, a brother, who said that he was there supporting love and that love is Jesus Christ, they screamed in his face and told him that he was hateful. He didn't yell at anybody. He didn't talk anything about politics. He had a black t-shirt on, no MAGA hat, no dumb shit like that. But still, the group that says that they are there to support minorities, LGBT people, the disenfranchised, will, at a drop of a hat, attack minorities if they don't think the way that they do. And it's sickening to me that stuff is allowed to take place. Well, not so much that it's allowed, just the fact that it does. I mean, first of all, you know, I have never been the type to get in other people's business. It's not me. You know, some of you have seen me at rallies before. I don't confront people without their consent. And like, I know there's a video on my YouTube channel right now of me and the gay gentleman having an incident, a discussion. We're having a discussion. He was screaming at a lot of people, and in fact, prior to me engaging him, he was saying that none of you guys are willing to talk to me. So I stopped and said, I'm willing to talk to you. He goes, oh, really? And then we engaged. And the video is cut off the beginning and end. But I mean, you see what it is. The meat of it is there. And he was afraid. No, wait, no, I can't even say that he was afraid. He was angry, that's for certain. He was angry. He said he was afraid and that he had fear, but I don't believe that. He said that everyone thought that he was, his words, that he was a faggot and a queer and a this and a that, and that he was afraid to go out, and that on Pride weekend that people harassed him. First of all, like, I don't believe that. He's in Portland, all right? Portland is one of the most liberal cities I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Super, 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 super liberal. And, you know, the times that I've been there, you will see trans people walking freely. You see gay people holding hands freely. Nobody blinks an eye. So the thought that this person on Pride weekend or Pride week was unable to walk around without being harassed, I don't buy that. But that was his statement. But you know, he told me that he was afraid, and I said, well, let's discuss your fear. And he goes, I'm not telling you about my fear. Why would I do that? I said, because we're having a discussion. You're telling me you're afraid of the people, you know, who are in this rally and in this demonstration. Then let's unpack that. I want to know why you're afraid, and hopefully we can come to an understanding that there's nothing to be afraid of. You can be angry. You can be angry that some of these people support Trump. You can be angry that some of them happen to be white, or that there's some form of nationalism, or that they love America. You can be angry at that. That's fine. But you don't have to be afraid of anybody. As he and I were having a discussion, he was in no danger of being injured or anything like that. But yet he went around harassing people, screaming at people, saying people were idiots and neo-Nazis, and everyone was racist. And he kept cutting me off, even though he accused me of cutting him off. You guys can watch the video. It's in my feed on my YouTube. But I remember he kept cutting me off, and I was like, you know, we're having a discussion, man. Like, you ain't got to be all aggressive. I just want to talk to you. You say you're afraid. Tell me about your fear. Tell me what you're afraid of. And he what he alluded to that we didn't get to unpack because he ran off because he wasn't willing to debate with me. He just wanted to vent. But I wanted to say to him, after he told me that people were calling him a faggot and other stuff, I was like, I told him, I don't think you're the F word. I don't think you're any of those things. And he goes, well, that doesn't matter. And I was like, well, if that's the argument that you're making, is that these people think poorly of you because of your sexuality, then it does matter. And I'm here to tell you that I don't think that about you. And I also want to tell him, like, there are many, many, many gay people who are on the side of the rally that we were at. The Patriot Prayer, I forgot what the actual rally was titled, but, you know, where Patriot Prayer members and Proud Boys were. I was like, there's tons of gay Proud Boys. There are tons of black Proud Boys. There are a ton of Hispanic, Asian, of varying religions. So you have nothing to be afraid of. No one's here to hurt you, and no one's here to discriminate you just because you're gay. Now, if you pop off with some dumb shit, then we might disagree. And yes, we might call you an idiot because of your opinions, but nobody hates you. And no one here is racist. I mean, that was the one thing that really bothered me, is, you know, I saw the reports of the media. Even in D.C. this weekend, you know, where they're like, oh, the Unite the Right 2 rally, you know, filled with white supremacists and stuff. I saw the fucking 14 people. I know some reports were as high as 50. I think the actual number was like 24 people showed up and marched in D.C. One of the dudes was black, darker than me. There was an Asian dude and a couple Hispanics, and there might have been like 8 white folks. And others were like mixed race. So it's really hard to have a white supremacy white fake lady GD and NY NWI. I don't know what that is. So I get, you know, that the gay guy yelling Nazi in people's faces is any surprise. Some of them may have said hurtful things back. It's possible. It's possible. There's some other, you know, I want to find some other footage of him because I know he was like yelling at a lot of people. But that's why I tell you, like, I don't do that. Like, I don't get in people's faces. It's beneath me. It's beneath me. You know, there's a reason why I don't bring a megaphone to these rallies. Because I'm not confrontational type. It's beneath me. And I'm not trying to change anybody's mind either. I want people to know the truth. That's for sure. So if you scream and say that everyone who's on one certain side or everyone who supports something is a Nazi and a white supremacist and a racist, I will correct you vehemently. Because I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair to label people things that they aren't. And I think that's how people get hurt. For instance, if I told 100 people that you're a child molester, you're gonna get your ass beat eventually. But let's not even go there. If I told a bunch of people you're a rapist, you're gonna have a really hard time navigating through life. Because it only takes one person to believe it and another person to like spread that around. So I don't get into the labeling. It's not right, it's not fair, it's how people get hurt. But I think it's safe to say that some of these people want people to get hurt. Coming through on the left side. Thank you. But you know, that's part of the tactic. You get a couple people with megaphones, get them to chant the same thing. You know, what are the chants? They're all the same. No Trump, no KKK, no Fascist USA. Even if you're not a Trump supporter, all you have to do is accuse someone of being a Trump supporter. Or just say something that some people might agree with. And that's enough. Nope, 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 nope. Look. Oh, these people do not look at the roads. Where were we? I should buy a bike mount since I do this fairly often enough. Bike mount for the phone. Let's see what we got here. Sadly, I'm the most hated. Sadly, I'm the most hated demographic in this country. Straight, white, Christian, gun-owning Republican. I feel like. Think of it this way, y'all. There's a reason why ain't nobody come over here and fucked with America, right? And it's not because of our strong military. The military has rules and regulations, things they can and can't do. Now, yes, we will vehemently defend ourselves. And yes, we have nuclear weapons and all that kind of stuff. But, like, you know, I think the majority of people, like, realize, like, okay, no one's gonna throw any nukes at anybody anytime soon. The real reason why nobody comes over here fucking with America, because everybody got a gun. And that's probably one of the most significant reasons why, like, shit hasn't hit the fan yet. Like, yes, you'll have your outlier situations where, like, a school shooting will happen, or a random act of violence, or a mass shooting at a mall, or a movie theater. But as long as we got guns, ain't nobody coming over here. And I feel like it's all part of the plan. That if people can blur the lines and equate gun ownership with bad people, where do I want to sit? I want to sit somewhere, I just don't know where. Ah, here we go. I found a bench. What time is it? 1:12. It's the S, the L, the I, the M. Y'all know about 1:12. Let me show you what I want to do. Let me show you what I feel to you. When I freak, when I ride with you. When I kiss, when I put my lips all over you. Can't get enough of you. Always take interviews. Anybody remember 1:12? Talking about peaches and cream. Still find it funny that the left hates the police when law and order is the only thing keeping them from being mowed over. They hate the police unless they want to use them. But see, it's all performative. It really is. And granted, you know, some people have, like, legitimate qualms and issues with, like, police officers. But by and large, like, believe me, if they have an emergency, they gonna call the police. And if their house is on fire, they gonna call the fire department. If they need assistance, I mean, you know, we see these rallies. Every time somebody gets hurt, they run to the police. So, but that's what I mean by, like, how performative this stuff is. It's like, it's all performance. Nobody has any real convictions about anything. Everybody's just trying to be heard and be part of something. In fact, like, this weekend, this might be the last rally I go to. Because I come to realize that every time a group of patriots want to get together or demonstrate or have a rally or a protest or whatever it is, they always start from a place of hate. And I'm not saying that they're hateful people, but it starts from a place of hate. I hate political violence. I hate pedophilia. I hate fake news or the mainstream media. So we're going to rally against this thing. And I think, for me, from a place in my heart, that if I want to keep attending these events, then it has to start with love. That it has to come from a place of positivity. That rather than go to an event that's labeled as a protest against political violence, then let's go to a demonstration supporting love and understanding. Label it as that. Title it as that. I'll go to that. You know, don't just say arbitrary terms like, oh, free speech rally or protest against XYZ. Like, no, put your mission statement in the title. Say why you're going to be there. I'm going there to support love and peace. I'm going there to, like, you know, respectful dialogue, you know, a demonstration or a rally, you know, love your brother, you know, love thy enemy. Like, I'll support that shit all day. Like, you'll notice, like, I don't promote a lot of these events. Like, I don't retweet them or anything, but if someone started doing that, I'd be the first one on board. And let a motherfucker try to protest against that shit. Let a motherfucker try to disrupt an event that leads with love. In every way, shape, and form. Where there's no ambiguity. Where there's no, oh, well, you said this, but you really mean that. Or, like, no. I mean, maybe I should reach out to some people. Or, like, maybe I should put my own event together. Like, I'm not the type, like I said, I'm not confrontational. And in a lot of ways, I live in my own little bubble. I'm making you hungry? Oh, dude, this is the baddest burrito, man. It's perfectly balanced, like Thanos. The only problem is everybody's entitled to be stupid, but some people abuse the privilege. Oh, dude. I respect some level of stupidity. And you're right. Everyone has the right to be stupid. And we need stupid people. We really do. Because they guide the path for everyone else. But for me, stupid stops when you swing fists. When you throw the hands, I'm done with you. You're no longer being stupid. You're becoming a domestic terrorist. At least under the guise of, like, these political rallies. But these people do dumb shit, man. Like, on both sides. God, and I hate that term. Oh, both sides. Both sides do dumb shit. And it's no longer interesting to me. Like, it was noble in the beginning, but, you know, this isn't the frequency I'm on. There's got to be something better. And I feel like we're going about it all wrong. But I get it. You know, I understand why Amber Cummings is just furious. I mean, as a trans woman, she's been assaulted. You know, she's been had her address released. She's been attacked at her home. And this is, you know, of one of the most marginalized of people in our society, you know, a trans woman who's being attacked by far left-wing extremists or Antifa or whatever you want to call them. And you would think that, you know, they would want to protect a person like that, or you think they would want to, at the very least, lay off a person like that. But no, that's not the case. You know, Erin, who's organizing the event this weekend, also, she's a trans woman. She's been attacked. They called her a violent far right-wing extremist, and the posters that they put around Berkeley, which have my face on them as well, allegedly to them that I'm a violent far right-wing extremist. I don't know how anyone could say that I'm violent. There's no footage of me punching anyone or attacking anybody at any of the rallies. Now, there's a ton of footage of me over the last years of like my fight career and the documentaries I've been in. Yeah, you can find, you know, image of me on the internet, you know, punching folks in the face and beating them with sticks. But you'll never see me swing on somebody at a rally. One, I don't let people get close to me like that. The only reason somebody threw urine at me is because they ran up behind me. Oh, and I did get hit, actually. I did get socked. But that guy, like, ran at me so fast, like, I didn't realize he was running at me, and he, like, switched directions. He slapped my phone out of my hand and hit me. And then he ran right over to the police. So I came to the police. I was like, yo, that guy just assaulted me. And I just looked at him, and they didn't do anything. So I was like, okay, well, if you guys aren't going to do anything about people getting assaulted, then fuck it. You know, you pick your battles. What Project Exile say about Erin? Hold on. Erin Smith committed a hate crime in Portland. Okay, how does a trans woman commit a hate crime? Explain that to me. Project Exile, please explain it. You're saying that Erin's a hateful person, so I would love to hear this. I'll wait while you back up your assessment. Oh, there's a bee trying to, no, get away, bee, get away, bee. There's a bee, get away, bee, it's a bee, it's a bee, the bee, the bee. Ah, shit, come on, man, come on, go away, bee, go away. It's a bee.
Attention, train 151 approaching.
Sorry, there's a bee. There's a bee. I don't know if you guys can see it. Shit. Oh, God. But I love all God's creatures, and I will not harm it. Even though it wants to sting me. Shit, okay. Okay. He wants my burrito. Ah, shit. Fuck, I can't even eat here. Okay, I'm just gonna remove myself from the situation. Nope, still there. He's following me. Oh! There's a bee. Oh, dude, this bee is like following me. There's nothing I can do about it. Project Exile, be confirmed as Antifa. Ah, shit, he found me. Fuck! Fuck, bro! Being trans does not preclude you from being able to commit a hate crime. Trans people are people. What seems okay? Well, let's unpack the hate crime accusation. Who is she accused of being hateful towards?
Attention, train 146 approaching.
Go away, B. Go away, B. Go away, B. Leave me alone. No, no, you can't have my burrito. This bee is all up on my burrito. Oh, that's not a bee, that's a wasp. Shit. Fuck. No, he's... All right. All right, I know this thing is one of God's creatures.